Well, I did it. I made a thing, and now you have to watch it. Or don't, but I'd appreciate it. When I first wanted to make a channel, there was many things that I wanted to do for my first video. Maybe talk about Spooky Month, bash on Haley's On It, you know, the kids show, or maybe review the Bendy tie-in books. I don't know if you can tell, but I might be a big fan of Bendy. But when I saw a Spider-Man fan film of the name of Goblin's Last Stand, I knew that it was going to be my first video. Don't worry, I'll still go back to those someday. I'll be back for you, Scotty, and your little marketable plushie, too. And for anyone who's wondering what any of these things have to do in common for a structure of a channel, fuck off. When I saw Goblin Last Stand for the first time, I was happily surprised by the movie. If you could call it a movie, the thing's only like 50 minutes long. Not because it was a masterpiece, but because it was a movie with passion. What do I mean by that? What's a fucking video, you idiot? We start the movie with a very slow title sequence. This takes a while, but after that we actually get to watch the movie where Spider-Man is stopping a couple of thugs in their getaway car. So, in case you haven't figured it out yet, most, if not all, the stunts in this movie are practical. Like, it's not the most dangerous stunts in the world. This movie was made in, like, the 90s with a budget of around 400. But these are really cool and give this movie its own charm. Like, look at this. He is actually on the car. That's fucking awesome. Although, I don't think they had anything to catch him if he fell. So I guess these stunts are pretty dangerous.
People ask all the time, why did you swing from that fire escape? Why did you swing around that building? The simple answer has always been, I needed the shot. That's it. That's it. How am I going to show a guy with the ability to shoot webs and swing around the city without swinging around the city?
I'm sorry, what the fuck? This movie also just feels like a comic book. Like the charm of the old Spider-Man comics put into film. It's very weird how not many Spider-Man films actually give us the charm of the comics. It's very weird. I guess you could say that for like most of the comic book movies that we've gotten over the past few decades. To absolutely no one's surprise, Spider-Man stops the thugs. He then ties them up and swings away to get to his date that he is already late to.
Damn, she must be one happy lady.
Hey, you sure you don't want to retake that line? No? Oh, okay, sure. We then cut to Gwen Stacy waiting for Peter Parker. This is probably as good as a time as ever to tell you, but this movie adapts the two most famous Spider-Man comics, The Death of Gwen Stacy and Goblin Last Stand. I'm sure you are all very surprised about the second comic, so probably don't stay too attached to her. Like her neck.
On their 2-year anniversary.
2 years? No way. It doesn't seem like more than 2 weeks ago you begged me to go stay with you.
Hey, you sure you don't want to retake that? It's then when Peter notices Norman Osborn in a taxi out the window.
What's wrong?
Well, I thought I just saw Norman Osborn.
I thought he was in that institution for millionaires.
Maybe his amnesia wore off.
Well, that's great. I mean, it was a miracle that he even survived that explosion at his chemical plant.
Thanks for the exposition, dumb. Jeez.
But Harry hasn't said anything about him recently.
Maybe nobody knows he's out.
Ooh. For the next few scenes, we get to see Norman looking for his son as he slowly loses his mind while gaining back his memories. I really like these parts. The actor for Osborn does an amazing job, especially with the fact there was no really big budget Spider-Man films with incredible actors for Osborns yet, meaning that he was basing it off completely on the comics. He goes deeper and deeper into his madness until he starts seeing that. Huh. Spider-Man has broken into my house. That's something you don't see every day, now is it? He then starts chasing Spider-Man thinking he has his son. What a great father. He then bumps into a couple of thugs, who all start to gang up on him. But once he starts hallucinating one of them as Spider-Man, he beats them with a bat and then chokes the ever-living life out of them. I wish that was me. What? The thugs are then able to knock him out and get away. But weren't there 3 of them? I don't think we saw the third guy get up and get away. I think he fucking died. We then cut to Peter and Gwen talking something about Captain Stacy dying or something. I don't know.
He should be locked up!
Gwen, please. I didn't want to get into this again. Can we just stick to the subject at hand?
Hey, you sure? You don't what? Gwen, please. Your father's dead was a canon event. We jump to the next day as Osborn finds his warehouse and costume, and honestly, for $400, this is really good. I don't know how good it would look in a higher quality, but I'm glad that they made it so comic accurate.
And for whatever you've done to my sons!
After all of this, how the fuck do you still think any of this has to do with your son? Peter heads to the Osborns' home to check on Norman, but he's nowhere to be seen, but finds newspapers of their last fight on the floor, and Harry, wish you were here earlier. But then...
That's odd.
What?
The card with the address and phone number for Park Manor is missing.
So look it up.
It's Pete. It had your address and phone number on it, too. Before you leave, don't forget to write it down for me.
So Spider-Man quickly swings to his apartment, like actually swinging, and sees the Green Goblin on the roof, holding Gwen as a hostage. He starts dodging the Green Goblin's attacks and then trips him over off his glider. He then rushes over to Gwen to try and get her to safety, but unfortunately the Green Goblin wakes up quicker than he expected and then gets onto his glider and knocks Gwen over. I think we all know what's about to happen. I love how, just like in the comics, Spider-Man doesn't know that Gwen is dead immediately, so continues to make jokes. And as he starts realizing, the music starts to get more tense as he comes to grips at the fact that the love of his life is dead.
Gwen, I saved you. I saved you, honey. You can't be... Oh, no, don't be dead. No, don't be dead. I don't want you to be dead. I just saved you. Won't you get it up?
Idiot. She was dead before your webbing reached her. A fall from this height would kill anybody.
This line is a rough translation of a line from the comic, and I always found it funny because I thought it was like the Goblin comforting him. Hey, it's alright, Spidey. You didn't actually kill her. She was already dead before you snapped her neck. I know he's implying that she died from the whiplash of the fall, but it's just too funny to me. Spider-Man then stops playing around and gets serious. I absolutely love it when Spider-Man gets serious. It's always a fun treat when he isn't messing around, and it's fun on way to show when things are serious and high stakes, and I feel like we've only gotten it like once in a combination of 3 series of movies. I wish we got it more often. Well, not all the time, of course. The fact that we only get it in small varieties is why it's great. Just the important moments. But I still actually want to, get these moments in Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man nearly takes down the Green Goblin, but unfortunately he's able to grab a pumpkin ball and hit it on Spidey's face and get away. Green Goblin rushes to his warehouse and prepares for Spider-Man to show up, knowing that he'll come after him.
He guards the front. I'll exit through the rear and take him from the side.
I don't think so, Goblin. Tonight's my game. We play by my rules.
You see, that's awesome. It's so cool seeing Spider-Man pissed off. I must say, if they're low budget, they're still able to make the fights feel very tense. And send, other adjective. Is it a fucking adjective? I don't know. Green Goblin gets the upper hand on Spider-Man and thinks he's won, but Spidey is able to get up and hit him with his own pumpkin ball. So Goblin tries to fire back by literally firing back at him, but to no avail. So he tries to escape, but Peter, looking fucking pissed, webs onto his glider and completely destroys it.
My back glider! You destroyed my back glider! You'll pay for this, Parker! I promise you'll pay!
You are insane! You killed the closest person on this earth to me! And you're worried about a stupid toy? I'll show you what pain is!
Like, look at the... Okay, I think you get my point.
Ah! Shut your disgusting mouth, you burn it! You've got no idea what it's like to love somebody or to be loved! And then having someone taken from you! Taken forever! And you sucker! You killed a humaniac! You took my swag!
Am I the weird one here? Holy shit, I'm a monster. So Peter nearly kills him, but realizes that this isn't the way, and becomes the better man, spares Norman, and let justice deal with him, even if it risks his identity. And Norman dies anyway. Yeah, I'm definitely the psychopath for enjoying this. And I'm okay with that. Our final scene shows Peter at Gwen's grave, feeling guilty about her death and the events that unfolded, before getting up and proclaiming to himself,
Now more than ever, I have a responsibility to keep being Spider-Man.
And we cut to credits. I love this movie. I'm sure if you go to watch it yourself, which, by the way, you totally should, you could probably find a bunch of acting, technical problems that I didn't talk about. But I don't care. It's amazing. It's just such a different vibe than most superhero movies. But I think what I love most about this movie, except for the serious Spider-Man scenes, fucking rocks, is that it was a movie with love. Love for the characters, love for the comics, and love for the stories of Spider-Man. And I'm glad, in a time when Spider-Man movies, or Spider-Man adjacent movies, are just made for the sake of being made. Sony. I'm glad we have movies like this that are made with just passion. If you have watched this video and still haven't watched this fan film, I would highly recommend watching it if you're a Spider-Man fan. It's just such a breath of fresh air, and I'm so glad that I watched it. I hope that this movie is the legacy of Spider-Man fan films. Not Spider-Man Lotus, I know most of you are all probably just waiting for me to say it, but the Green Goblin's Last Stand, a movie of passion and some dangerous ass stunts. Hey, thanks for watching. This has been my first ever video. I'm sure you can probably tell from the intro, actually. And I'll hopefully be making more of these very soon. I've been your host. This has been a thing. And I hope you watched it. But while I still have you, Jojo Studios, where the fuck is Bendy the Cage? I'm gonna fucking kill you guys. Release date to be announced. Announced when, goddammit? Fucking, it's been a fucking year.